Yeah.
because we are telling Marvel creators we don't like it.
Yeah.
So we should be able to hear that kind of criticism.
Right. You know, in Comic Boom,
Otherwise,
there
we're
mentioned
hypocrites.
something, and he said Childless Weirdo is intended to be derogatory. And I agree. And that's just not, you know, anytime you could twist anything to be derogatory, I guess, if you really want to. And is that the way you really want to go? I mean,
You stick bug. Yeah, actually you can. Yeah, there you go.
you know, is that how you really want to be? You know, and when I look at, if I want to debate, I want to debate based on the topic, not how I can call you fat. And once again, as I'm saying, or whatever term that you're using, you know, you're really not helping the conversation. And I'm guilty too. I've had, when I take a lot of hits, sometimes I'll let one fly back or something like that. But it takes a lot of hits. I'm a pretty patient guy. But, you know, we just stop communication once we start going in there. You know, I mean, I got called an extremist today for asking a civil question. I said, you know, what?
Well, so technically, Cummings is a dateless loser. Well, no, not a loser, but he's dateless because he's got a wife. He's not looking for. I'm like, that they just killed me. I said that to Ron Mars when he said he's got a wife.
You didn't know about his mistress?
You can't get a date on Saturday. I ain't even playing around with that. And you wouldn't want anybody to start spreading that rumor about you either, dude.
No, not at all. I was absolutely kidding. Just for the record, everyone here, I was just joking. He's very in love with his wonderful wife, just like as I. So.
Oh, well, thank you, Denise. I appreciate it.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, Denise, you subbed to Night. That's one. You got started. All right.
Everybody gets
Good
one.
job. Good
All
job.
right.
Everybody gets one. Found you on Twitter. Well, thank you. Please, if you enjoy random, obscure crap that is not Western comic book related, you have found the right person.
And right, married couples can have date nights. I've had one in the last 3 years. Yeah.
Doug says there are 10,000 things that we can use to ding these guys on killing the industry. And once you start calling them childless weirdos, it's like, really? Except for I can't say it in that high-pitched, awesome voice.
Really?
Well, and that's just it. You take
the only thing I can do is
discussion.
Racist. You know, that's my Doug Ernst imitation right there. Racist.
I could do the what was it? Used to be one of the wrestlers in WWE did. The Miz, he used to do it. Really?
Oh, hey,
really?
Anya, I sent you the link in that PM that you sent to me.
Racist.
So if you want to jump on, you're all welcome to. Denise, come on. You know, we're good with that. At some point in time, we'll talk about Batman, but I'm having fun responding to everybody myself.
I am the people of the earth. Okay. I thought I was just a ghost and remnant of a long begotten era.
And what era would that be?
The era of Zeon. Hail Zeon. No one will probably understand that reference, but if they look on Twitter, it's like, what is Hail Zeon? They look at the bio, it's like, what is this guy even talking about?
But, you know, and I stand by that, and I think I did a good job of it today because I got hit a lot today. Once we start stooping to the level that they use of name calling and things like that, they're going to have more ammunition against us. We're giving them things to use. Well, look what they said. They're not what they claim. And we can't fall into that trap. You know, it's begging.
Well, I mean, I never want to stop doing what we have to do, but there are certain things you got to make sure it's about the comics and not the people.
Right.
We're going to nail you on that. Most people who don't have kids who are like 50 years old already feel bad or awkward about it. It's just like kicking someone while they're down. There you go.
Oh, at least I know somebody who's in this comment section who gets the reference. Thank you, Nicholas Soseby.
Oh, what was
the Hail Zeon thing? He understands.
Oh, okay.
And he just gave the Japanese version, the Zeeg Zeon.
Yeah, I have no idea what you just said.
Okay.
Englentine PM you on Twitter. You got a message there again.
Well, you know how everybody considers Hydra is basically Nazis. It is a Japanese show, which this icon is kind of based off of, that had Space Hitler, basically. He did this big grandiose speech, and at the end did that with all of their followers. So Space politics, people.
Yeah. Like Paige said here, I'm pro politeness. That person said, I think we can be cautious, but not be overtly sensitive. And I agree. I mean, I usually use the words against them and say, excuse me, you know,
Space Hitler.
like Space Hitler.
Well, that is what he was. Giranzabi is nothing but Space Hitler. There's no other way of going around that.
I will have to take your word for it. That is completely out of my wheelhouse.
Well, yes, it kind of is. But if you were ever interested, just ask, and I will tell you.
Okay, so I'm going to invite Mariana or Anya, she has to be called, and Denise.
Oh, it's no longer a sausage fest.
It's no longer the sausage fest. I thought it wasn't with Nightwolf here. What are you talking about?
Oh, man.
Ouch.
Hey-yo.
Dang. Just because he hasn't hit puberty does not mean he's not a male.
You know, that would be relatively interesting.
He's only 30. Someday, people go at a different rate.
That's right.
You know, we can't judge him based on others.
Mr. Carlos makes a very good point. What if they were to ban Xeon attire? Well, I would love to share a picture with everybody, but who's Nightwolf?
Is it a Xeon attire or is it just you in a bikini? Because you're not pulling that crap again.
No. Xeon attire looks very, very similar to, well, somewhat similar to Nazi attire. I can't argue with that.
Right.
It's obviously that that show took inspiration. The Gundam franchise took inspiration from a lot of the bad things that happened during World War II.
Yeah. Now, I want to address two things, too. Electric 1995 said, are any of you a fan of the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise? If you are, then what are your opinions of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
You really don't know how to say names.
I butcher words. I talk for a living and I butcher words. Yes, I know. You know, I like the Marvelverse game. I think they're fun. I know that much. I haven't got into the new one, and I don't plan on it with all the DLC and all that crap. I tend to wait till later on. But also the character models and things I've seen of them just don't look good to me. Like Captain America looks like he's the Hulk, for crying out loud. Yeah.
Art style is not the thing I was expecting it, but I'm not a huge fan of it either.
Okay.
I think I've tried the demo. It's fun and all, but I was I should go out and buy that right now. It's like, I'm too busy playing Injustice 2 right now. I don't have time for 2.
All right. And
on their Twitter page, I sent an invitation to both Anya and to Denise if they would like to come on. I sent the invitation out to your Twitter. Hopefully it works.
One can only hope. Did you take it from the Google Hangout?
I took it from the Google Hangout, yes.
Okay, then you should be good.
All right, Unranked Chevron stated that they have tarred us with the insult of bigoted trolls and think we have to minimize the degree to which we play into that. And I agree 100% because that's the thing. They're going to continue to throw it in our face. We have to be better than
the whole problem right there is that if they're calling you a bigoted troll, then they themselves are being bigoted. So do not be afraid to turn this stuff around. It's okay, Denise, no worries. But yeah, if somebody calls you, it's like when they call us racist. I could turn that stuff right around on them. Oh, are we sexist? Then why do you think that Jane Foster should take her boyfriend's name? Obviously. Right. Hey, Anya.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Awesome.
Wonderful.
Okay.
But yeah, that is a true story about me and my husband. About the comics. We were discussing on the way home from Ren Fair tonight.
Okay.
And it was like, okay, you want to know what's going on with Marvel Comics? Because he likes Marvel Comics. Hello?
You're coming in a little bit robotic.
Oh, I think it might be the I have the other chat open. Should I close that?
Just turn, or if you turn off the sound, that would help.
Okay, I can do that. Hang on. The sound on that is muted.
There you go. Yeah, I hear you clearly now. How about you guys?
Yep. Loud
Better?
and clear.
Okay, good.
Sounds good.
Okay, so you were talking about your husband. Just sorry, guys, we're going to take a little side trip here.
Okay, I was talking
Anya.
about... Yes. Hello. I am the oldest one here, I believe now.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Hooray.
Yes, and I'm also the comics pirate because I refuse to pay for what's out there now, and I can't afford to buy what I love from the past. So I found a site.
Yeah, you did it. That's all you need to tell.
That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying what site, but that's how I do it.
Okay.
Yeah. I won't pay for what's out there now. Can't afford to bring up my collection. But anyway, we were talking, and I was saying, you want to know what's going on with Marvel Comics? And he's like, okay. And I said, guess what? Captain America, his favorite character, is Hydra. He went, what? I said, he's Hydra. Iron Man is a 15-year-old black girl. I told him about, who else? Thor's a woman. And he went, you've got to be kidding me. Nope. What were they thinking? I don't know. So it's not just us who think it. He doesn't read comic books all that much. I read them more than he does. But he loves Captain America. And in fact, that was his character when we used to do Marvel, the role-playing game, when they put out in the 80s, 90s. He actually played Captain America in our games. So that was his character. He loved it, and it's like, Cap is Hydra? You got to be kidding me.
But he has good taste, Captain America.
Yeah, I'll let him know that. There's a guy I'm talking to on YouTube who is really into Captain America too, so you got good taste.
That's right.
Where did Englentine go? He disappeared.
I think I killed him.
He might have knocked himself off.
It might be me. Might be me. Sorry. But,
no, it's not you. It happens sometimes. Your connection will drop and you can get knocked off. He just has to add himself back.
I've been there before with other friends in the Hangouts and stuff. So
couple of ways I get some comics to help get them for cheap is I check eBay and buy them in large lots because you can usually get them very cheap for large lots. That way, I buy complete runs and things like that.
Yeah.
Or I check my local area. Sometimes somebody's selling their collection in your local area. There's been a lot of times where I picked up like 300 or 400 books for $15 and things like that. I've went to a lot of swap meets as well. It's where we got a lot of our older Spider-Mans and stuff from the ASMs for like issue 12 and things like that. Really, really cheap. So,
okay, I'll look into that.
There's avenues.
I will look into that.
There's some. It's sort of fun. It comes like a hunt.
Yeah, I haven't gone to a comic book store in a long time because I think the one we have around here went away.
Oh, that's been happening a lot, sadly.
Yeah, and also our budget says no comics. No. Sadly, I was subscribing for like years to Iron Man.
Oh yeah,
and it ran out right at the point where they said, "Oh, guess what happened to your son about a real mom of Tony Stark?" That's where it ran out. And I looked at, and I was hearing all the stuff about what happened with him. And I said, I'm not renewing. Just not doing it. I will. It's not going to do it. I'm not going to. They took a character away when they didn't have to. They could have had both on the shelves. Like I think I've told you guys before. They could have both characters on the shelves.
Sure.
Right.
And just let the market decide who they want to buy.
Yeah.
Don't cut off one avenue.
Yeah.
Right. I just say you can only have one choice. Well, that's not right.
Right, and that creates an opportunity for two characters to, one character people keep getting and another character to grow and have people enjoy and maybe become the next big one.
Yeah, maybe if Riri hadn't been forced down people's throats as this is the Iron Man you got, take it or leave it, or Doom is Iron Man, take it or leave it, people wouldn't be so mental about it.
Sure.
I mean, I know I wouldn't.
Right. Englentine, are you back?
I had a brownout. Sorry, guys.
It happens.
Yeah. So I missed everything on you just said, except for right up to the Iron Man point. Somebody's asking, would comics become more cheaper if they were just black and white like most manga? Of course they would, if they wanted to charge less. I also wonder if it would not be prudent for them to go back to newsprint.
Even the white newsprint that they used for what print newspapers there are out there would be great. I wouldn't mind. So yeah, they should go back to newsprint.
I mean, most
if it
mangas
makes
are
it
printed
cheaper
on
and more
newsprint
accessible to
anyway,
people,
too,
it should be.
And
there-
bring it
there's
back
some-
to the stores.
Right.
Yeah.
Make it a disposable income purchase that you can not have to think them where people can see them and go, huh, I'll give that a try.
I miss spinner
Yeah,
racks.
and-
Generating new interest.
Spinner racks were a lot of fun.
I genuinely miss them.
Racks, though, as if you're any kind of collector, you remember that little fold right in the middle that would have that ding? Yeah, that's the one thing I didn't
I
like.
don't care about that. I care about just getting whatever issue of Captain America, Iron Man, whoever. I don't care if it's in pristine condition because I'm not that kind of a collector. If I like the story, I'm just going to collect the book. I don't care how. I don't want it all ratty, mind you, but I don't care if it's got a little ding in it.
Comic Boom is saying that I'm misunderstanding the printing costs, so maybe newsprint won't lower the cost.
Well,
But
there's a lot of other
it's not much.
factors.
It's not much less. Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
There's a lot of other factors that are going to play. It only have a small impact on that. There needs to be other things done as well.
Yeah.
And part of it is the placement. That's definitely an issue. The logistics of it is absolutely huge. And
there you go. Comic Boom proved I don't know everything about the comic book industry. I don't know about the printing cost. There you go. There had to have been a weak spot somewhere.
You had to learn that if you guys are going to make your own company. You got to know the costs.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Well, we're talking mainly about a website, and I think it's excellent if we get a website where everybody can find us in one spot. Not only would it be good for everybody to come on in, check out everything, but it could serve as a way to promote the smaller channels.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I mentioned today, though, the problem with that, of course, is that we can share everybody, but it's up to the individual creators to do whatever, and by that I mean the YouTube creators, to do whatever they can to keep their audience.
Right.
And one of that is to find the market and realize what people are watching. There's this one guy I started following because he did contests. He'll go across the YouTube verse and find people having contests, and he'll do that. But he never changed anything. So
yeah, most of those contests don't improve any channels.
He's been 50 views here, 60 for as long as I've been doing it. Would love to see grow is the one I keep putting on. That she's not even a part of this. It's Brides of Cthulhu.
Oh yeah,
and, I try to promote the hell out of her. She's not changing her channel at all, not doing anything differently, not really paying attention, but she does awesome videos about the deep cuts of sci-fi and geekdom. And that's one of the things I love. We do the mainstream stuff, and she just goes deep, and I kind of dig that. But it's like, okay, so how are you going to improve? All I can do is get the video out there and say, hey, check this person out.
Right. And Douglas Ferks brings up a great point. He said, when I only had a few hundred followers, Captain Cummings started sending people my way. That was really cool. And I agree, Captain Cummings has been absolutely wonderful about promoting other channels. He's mentioned me every time, which, hey, he needs to mention me more often. Every time he does, I get like a couple hundred more followers,
Well, I found you through Cummings. You did a hangout with him.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my gosh, it's two jackasses and two weird hats. I was like, what the hell's going on here? That's what I thought. I was like, okay, let's see. It was like, so I watched and I'm like, oh, okay, they're pretty cool. But yeah, that really was my first reaction to Captain Cummings. I'm like, who's this loudmouth in the fucking hat? So and I just started, and I watched it, and like I'll just put it on comic book topics and let it play for a while, in the background while I'm making a video or something, and it would be, and Cummings would come up. I'm like, gosh darn it, this guy again. God dang it, this guy. Well, okay, Just all right. Well, hey, Cummings is on again. Let's watch that. So it's kind of funny because the first time I watched it, I'm like, there's just a loudmouth and a weird hat, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, the new Cummings video. Let's check that out.
And I will say, Douglas Ernst has also been good about promoting channels. He's thrown me a bone a couple times, quite a few times. So I'm highly thankful for anybody who does that. And I've noticed the community is really good about doing that and throwing other people's names out.
Yeah, I'll tell you something that it surprised me because I remember sharing Just Some Guy. When I found him, I'm like, holy shit, everybody's got to see this kid. And then today we're talking. Yeah,
I found Just Some Guy on one of the sidebars one time. I don't know whose video is on. Maybe one of yours, Englentine, or one of Frugal. Somebody's. I saw the Just Some Guy. I went, okay, Just Some Guy, and clicked on it, watched the video, and went, damn good. Subscribe. Yeah. That's how I found most of all you guys. I don't know who I found first, but one by one, it'd be like I'd find one of you guys either referred to in a video and go, okay, let's search YouTube and find it.
Doug, I can't help it if you spell your last name wrong, man. There's supposed to be an A in there. I do. I spell his name wrong all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what, though? You're one of the people that and the rest's me. So, okay, I'm going to spell it wrong.
Okay.
You're cutting out. I'm sorry.
Oh, what happened is I did the Google did not respond. My Chrome did not respond. It was being a hissy fit. But I found you guys, and it was like, okay. I honestly can't say who I found first. I honestly cannot see who I found first, but it was like, okay, let's try this guy. Let's try this one. And I'd watch like 2 or 3 videos because I wasn't just going to go on one video. Because one video, you could have like a fantastic video and the next one's...
Yeah, that's me.
No.
No, that's me.
No, there's subjects I don't like. No, there's subjects I don't like, so I don't watch all of your videos. You guys.
I don't blame you.
There's something I just don't like. But it's like, that's you guys. You guys, you're into Robotech. I'm not into Robotech.
That's you, Night Wolf.
Yeah. I know my demographic well. I know I've got people.
I have to admit, I don't watch those either because I cannot get interested in.
I'm just not into it.
Robotech and anime and Gundam.
But if the guys put up something that, and it doesn't have to be this, whatever this non-controversy is. If it's something good that, like, if you're reading, reviewing the newest Captain America, Iron Man, that book, which I will not say because I do not want another cursing fit.
I know it's the nostalgia critic with a bat credit card. If you say that title's name, I lose my freaking mind.
Yes, you do. I love it, but I'm not gonna provoke the bear.
My gosh, I mean, I sometimes skip Englentine because when I'm talking, I sometimes think I'm going to screw up and pronounce it Englentine. Englentine.
Yeah.
Instead of Englentine.
Screwing up hasn't stopped me yet.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah. We are not the unicorns of
Secret Empire. Comic Boom. Come on. Don't bring up the SC. Let's not for one day. You know it's Batman Day. We got to start talking about Batman at some point in time.
You know what though? While we're mentioning this, I had a shout out from Michael B. the Game Genie. If anybody watches that, he called me Captain Fergal.
Captain Fergal.
Yeah, Captain Fergal. It's like, oh, come on.
I hate to say this, but I don't remember reading Batman when I was a kid.
I read Batman a lot as a kid. I think it was one of the first comic books that I ever read. Like, I probably was 7 years old, and my brother had like the 0 Hour going on, and he had the pull list of it. So I started reading it. But it is weird because some of you guys know that I'm not from America. I'm from South America. So we have.
But you live in Canada, yeah?
Now I do. It's been a year now.
So you were like, well, I need to move, but that land in the middle of it. Let's just go all the way up.
Yeah, I need the comics every Wednesday. I don't want to wait 2 years for comics. That's
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is. It is. Like, I probably read like the Dark Knight Fall 2 years after it was published in the United States.
Okay, from now
And it
on,
was
we're
all
calling that
cut-
Dark Knight Fall forever and a day here, okay? Because that's just too damn cute.
But the reason I
Yeah,
say I don't,
the Dark Nightfall. No, sorry, the Nightfall.
There you go.
I read that like it was all cut off because in Brazil, I don't know what that publisher did there, but you know, it was like all cut off, all the dialogues and all the translations were done wrong. So yeah, it's horrible. It was horrible. It was like it's unspeakable.
See you later, Chevron. Oh, hey, here's one way we can get a couple of views. Guys, go over to go to DNC's live stream and say, let's not watch this boring stuff. There's chicks over at Englentine's house. So
the reason I say I didn't read Batman comics is I'm of Englentine's more demographic than I don't want to presume about you, Denise, but I'm more of that demographic.
She sounds younger.
Yes.
I'm 30 years old. I'm about the age of Night.
Okay.
Okay. So
you came into the Batman more of the Frank Miller era.
Yeah.
That's you and me.
Whereas
the Frank Miller era is us. Me, you, and Frugal are Frank Miller with the Dark Knight Returns and all that.
Oh, actually, that's when I read a little bit of Batman. But when I was growing up,
whoa, hold on, wait, I got it. I'm sorry to interrupt. I have to address something in the comics. I'm sorry, Will T. No, the male gaze is when you see them. This is the beauty of the intelligence. We're hearing the voice. We're hearing the opinions.
This is the male listening.
Is when
the male listening.
This is where. This is the great time to support the fact that there are ladies on this channel because you are getting what really matters. You're getting the personality. You're getting the intelligence.
Don't hate your voice, Denise. You have to embrace it.
I love your voice, Denise. I love your voice.
You have to embrace it because just listen to me. So
the thing is, I don't feel like sometimes I speak clearly and people can't understand me because of my accent, and I'm pretty nervous right now. Yeah, I'm shaking. I'm literally shaking.
You're doing
There's a lot of people
watching.
You do not have. You are very intelligible.
Yes. Okay. Here's the truth. Denise,
Douglas Stern just put. We'll be accused of being attracted to pumpkin heads now.
That is true. But
Jack-o'-lantern, here we come.
Hey, we're 14 again. Okay, anyway. Yeah, that one's gonna hit somebody wrong. Anyway, Denise, here is the truth, and this you can just take this to the bank. If you say something funny, we're going to make fun of you. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, so now you can relax.
and you can hit us with any cheap shot you want.
I've already been cheap shotted, I don't know, a half dozen times through this cast already, so
the shots on you are on discount.
Wolf, we're not joking when we say it to you. Why do you think we're come on, you gotta get with the program here, bud.
Cheap shots for Nightwolf are on clearance.
I can sympathize with Denise on getting comics. I can go you guys one better. You guys know this story. When I was growing up, yes, back in the days of dinosaurs, we would go on vacation in North Carolina, and we would hit the spinnerack. Once a year, I got comics when I was growing up. Once a year.
Wow.
So
yeah, that's
when I did buy DC then because Marvel did the continues. And when you can only go one time a year, and your parents did not take you to places that actually had comics, like they wouldn't buy you comics outside of vacation time. That you had to go with what you got. And I read things like the Superboy, the Legion of Superheroes, Doom Patrol, the original Doom Patrol, mind you.
Nice.
And stuff like that. So I can sympathize with Denise about not getting comics for 2 years. I get it.
Yeah, there you go.
I can sort of understand it too, considering I didn't start reading comics officially until probably the mid-90s when I was already a teenager.
You actually hit a pretty good era.
Yeah.
Well, I've never really shown my first Spider-Man comic, but I've said it multiple times.
What she's saying is that the comic books weren't available. And this might actually be, well, Frugal may be the only other one here that doesn't remember a time where there were not comic book shops. So the only
I know that era quite well. Right. Because there was never any here.
You got it at the grocery store, maybe, or they carried them. The
you might,
if they got them.
And it wasn't like they always had like Spider-Man 200, Spider-Man 201, 202, 203. They may have skipped a couple. So
or they were sold out.
Together, yeah, putting together a collection really did involve traveling or something like that. Or but once the comic book shops came, you could fill in the holes with the back issues.
I get those in college years. I started getting those in college years. So that's
we're going to change the name of this this little live stream from Mark Wade on Facebook and Two Old Farts Remember Comic Book Collecting. That's what we're going to be calling this. Okay. Hey kids, it's Englentine here, and once again want to thank you for joining us and listening to our little podcast there. This time we were joined by Anya and Denise, two very interesting young ladies there. And don't forget about Captain Frugal as well as Nightwolf Plays. Go on over to their channels. Check out their videos. Subscribe. They do some good work over there and definitely deserve some larger audiences. If you have anything to say about any topic we talked about, leave that in the comments below. Also, if you haven't already done that here, click subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss anything. Also, if you don't mind, head on over to Patreon or VidMe, drop $1 in the till to help us keep making videos like this one and the others you'll find on the channel. Also, like to thank everybody who's done that already, anyone who's thinking about doing that, and to everyone, thank you very, very much for taking your time out and watching.
The Penguin and his 10 goons are plotting in a back room. Pile, crash, boom, bam, in leaps the Batman, making life safe again for all the Gotham citizens. He's so bitchin', he's so brave, it's back